The Adventures of Jack Thompson. Chapter 1. The Mysterious Discovery. It was a warm summer morning in the small, sleepy town of Willow Creek. The sun was just beginning to peek over the hills, casting golden light on the quiet streets and tidy houses. Birds chirped in the trees, and the gentle hum of cicadas filled the air. 11-year-old Jack Thompson sat on the wooden fence outside his Aunt Clara's house, swinging his legs idly. His best friend, Peter Grayson, stood nearby, clutching a slingshot and wearing an eager grin. "Come on, Jack," Peter said, nudging his friend. "I heard old Mr. Hargrove's barn has a secret attic. They say it's full of treasure." Jack raised an eyebrow skeptically. "Treasure? Or just a bunch of dusty old junk?" Peter's grin widened. "Does it matter? Let's go find out." Jack couldn't resist an adventure, especially one that promised mystery. He hopped down from the fence and adjusted his straw hat. "All right, but if we get caught, it's your fault." The two boys set off toward the edge of town, where Mr. Hargrove's sprawling farm stood. The barn, an enormous weathered structure with peeling red paint, loomed in the distance. It had a reputation for being haunted, though neither Jack nor Peter believed in ghosts. When they reached the barn, they crept around the side, careful not to be seen. The big double doors were slightly ajar, and Peter pushed one open just enough for them to slip inside. The air was cool and smelled of hay and wood. Sunlight streamed through the cracks in the walls, illuminating piles of tools, barrels, and crates. "There it is," Peter whispered, pointing to a rickety ladder leading up to a small trapdoor in the ceiling. Jack hesitated. "That doesn't look very safe." "Safe isn't any fun," Peter shot back, already climbing the ladder. Jack sighed and followed, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nervousness. The attic was dark and dusty, with cobwebs draped over the beams like ghostly curtains. The boys' footsteps echoed as they explored, their eyes scanning the cluttered space. Suddenly, Jack's gaze fell on an old wooden chest tucked in a corner. It was bound with rusty iron and had an ornate lock. "Peter, look at this," Jack said, kneeling beside the chest. Peter joined him, his eyes wide with curiosity. "Do you think it's a treasure?" Peter asked. "Only one way to find out," Jack replied. He tugged at the lock, but it wouldn't budge. Peter rummaged through a nearby pile of tools and returned with a crowbar. With a bit of effort, they pried the chest open. Inside, they found a collection of strange items: an old map, a tarnished compass, and a leather-bound journal. Jack picked up the journal and flipped it open. The handwriting was neat but faded, and the pages were filled with sketches of strange symbols and landmarks. "What is this?" Peter asked, peering over Jack's shoulder. Jack's eyes lit up. "It looks like a map to something. Maybe it's real treasure this time." The boys exchanged a glance, their imaginations racing. Whatever this map led to, they were determined to find it. This was the beginning of an adventure far greater than they had ever imagined. "We can't let anyone else know about this," Jack whispered. "It's our secret." Peter nodded solemnly. "Agreed. Tomorrow, we start the hunt." As they carefully climbed back down and slipped out of the barn, neither of them noticed the shadowy figure watching them from behind a haystack, their eyes glinting with intrigue. The adventure had already begun.